Howdy, my name is Nolan T. Painter, and in today's video we will be going on, I guess, part 2 or 3 of, what it means to become a man. The first video I just outlined it, in the second video I talked about overcoming lust. Today we will be talking about overcoming or letting go of pride. So what do I mean by pride, right? Aren't you supposed to be like this leader as a man? How can you be a leader and not prideful? Well, what I mean by this is, as a man you need to lead. But by leading, you're not leading through the idea of having the best opinion. You're leading because you have to make a choice and be disciplinary. So, we're all familiar with the girls and how unable they are to make decisions. If you've ever asked if they want to go to dinner or when they want to go to dinner or what they're going to wear to dinner, they have no idea. But that means that you, as a man, should instinctively be leading. And as a leader, you're not considering your best opinion, you're considering what they would like. So the truth is, as a man, you need to eliminate this idea that you know what's best, right? You know what she wants and you know what you want, and you need to find a compromise for that, because the reality is you alone do not know what's best. So you need to figure things out, like ask her discreetly, do investigationary work, understand what she wants, right? Ask her friends what she likes, right? And then when you go to dinner, you'll do exactly what she wants as this man. You'll be leading it, you'll be making the decisions, but it won't be, for yourself. So the opposite of being prideful here would be being humble. You need to humble yourself and do not necessarily what you want, but what needs to be done, right? And you can't imagine what needs to be done is what you want, because then you're just putting your own thoughts beyond the thoughts of others, when in reality, you should be putting the thoughts of others beyond your own, because that's what it means to be humble, not prideful. So anyways, why is it that we need to let go of this pride? Why is it that we need to be a leader who's also humble? Well, thinking you are too good for something will prevent growth. Thinking you have already reached the best form or have the best opinion on something prevents you from actually getting smarter. Because if you think that your partner doesn't have a valid opinion or doesn't have feelings that you should care about, then first of all, you're doing a shit job as a boyfriend. But second of all, you're not going to grow. You're not going to learn more about them or be interested in learning about them and being more connected as an individual if you think that you already know everything about them, or that what about them is not necessary for you to know. I took a lot of, contradictory in saying this, but I did take a lot of pride in understanding my partner. I was rather proud of myself for understanding my partner, but I wasn't prideful in the sense that I thought my opinions were best. I still have to humble myself at the end of the day and realized I need to learn about my partner more, I need to care for my partner more, and I need to understand what they want. So when I lead and when I go out, and women want this, women want a natural leader, right? When I go out and lead and when I brave the world for our partner or for our partnership, then I need to understand what she wants and do it for her, right? And if I think I know everything about her and I think I know what's best, then that prevents growth. So you need to always remind yourself in the back of your head, you can always be better. Always humble yourself, right? Humble yourself and accept your faults. So the idea that you don't know everything, the idea that you could be stronger. Because if you think you're the strongest man on the planet, are you going to go to the gym? Probably not. You're not going to be very inclined. So you need to always remind yourself you are not perfect. You have so much more you can do. And having a partner who is telling you that and having good communication, which I think I've addressed in another video, why, communication and significance in a relationship, that helps a lot, because then you have someone who's challenging you. I had a partner who was insane. They would do all these martial arts and everything, and I was so humbled, and I was like, holy crap, I need to get to work on that. So now I'm going to the gym like crazy. I'm working out 3 times a day sometimes. I'm eating good food. I'm doing running. I'm training every part of my body. I'm doing kickboxing. I want to get into more martial arts. I'm going to level up myself because of that. Because I realized, these are things I needed to do, because I wasn't perfect, right? And again, you're never too good to do the work. So don't ever believe you're above something. Don't ever believe you're too good to do kickboxing or too good to go to the gym. You're not. You need to do the work. You are never too good for anything, especially your partner. A female partner will always appreciate a hardworking man, right? She might feel like a little neglected, or she might feel like she's being left out, which is unfortunate, but those feelings are always better than her thinking you're just a slob or a slob. You're just a lazy loser, right? You're just a lard ass. You're nothing. You're useless, right? Having too little time is so much better than having all the time in the world, which is weird because you think as a man you'd like to free up your schedule, but you need to let her learn to want you and value your time, right? Less is more type of thing, right? And this isn't manipulative. You should put effort into seeing her and caring for her and value and cherish each moment, but you should continue working on yourself. You can find a balance, right? Or a compromise, not necessarily a balance, because if you really want to work hard, then you can't have really much of a balance. That's a discussion for another video, but you need to compromise, right? And then being humble allows for everything else. So you can't grow or do anything if you're not humble, right? You need to shoot yourself or in the foot or punch yourself in the face and realize, I'm horrible. I can get better. I will get better. I'm not perfect. And now I'm sitting here in this moment and I'm trying so hard to get better, and I just want to show the world how well I'm trying. Right? So then how do you do this? How do you do this? Well, you got to earn it, right? You need to do things to manufacture earning it, right? So what I mean by that is you need to go to the gym, you need to go do kickboxing, you need to go work hard, you need to eat well, you need to build a business, right? You need to earn all these things that you're working towards, and then you will manufacture that moment where this girl comes by and sees all the work you've done, right? Like an easy one is a car, right? Like a nice car. You work hard for that car, you build a business empire, you make a lot of money, and then you buy yourself a nice car because, well, you got a lot of money, you want to buy something. Well, that car isn't just a car, it's a representation of all your effort and all the skill. And if a girl would see that car, that's something that you've manufactured that is a representation of your skill. Now, monetary value and, objectification, so like seeing a man as just money and vehicles aren't good, and there's a problem with that because often you'll see women who just come who are like gold diggers or just attracted to your money, and even the sweetest girl will have that feeling inside of her, right? Even the most perfect innocent girl inside of her will find that she's more attracted to the rich guy than the broke guy, even though they're the exact same man, or the attractive guy versus the ugly guy, even though they're like the same height or have the same amount of money. It's just natural. The same way that men are attracted to a more beautiful woman or a woman who's better with children, just because that's what they're attracted to. Women want success. So if you want a good woman, you gotta be successful, and you gotta manufacture those moments where you're able to show off that success in a very positive and humbling way, right? That's why it's always better to get news through friends rather than telling them. Because if you're going to this girl and you're telling her, yeah, I'm so good, I put in all this effort, I love you so much, and I did it all for you, that's whatever. But if her friend comes along and says, hey, girlie, that guy who you kind of dumped? Yeah, he's put in all this effort, he's a millionaire now, and he still loves you, and he's working all this for you. Doesn't that sound so much better? Doesn't that sound so much more humbler and less prideful and, convincing? So put in the work, talk to people, talk to their friends, and they'll make the connections for you. Don't over-assert yourself, right? You should remain humble when you are showing off these things. Let them discover it. People will find so much more value and appreciation subconsciously when they discover things about you rather than you just telling them. So again, always believe how you, see your faults here, and then always believe that you are lesser to others. So realize sometimes you're not necessarily lesser or less valued as a human being, but always place value of other people above yourself to be humbler. You need to always do that extra effort, always that 110%, always bonus for somebody else, no matter who they are and what the circumstances are, because a woman will appreciate a man who goes above and beyond for any human being in every walk of life, because you need to be truly caring and kind as a man, as a good man, if you want to let go of your pride and be humble. So there's no selecting anything. You send 100%, 110%. And I'm a firm believer of that, especially in relationships. It frustrates me when you're in a relationship for someone you love more than anything and you're giving 110% and they're giving you 40, 50%. But you got to talk and you got to work through these things, and you got to give, 220%. You got to double down and fix that, right? You got to give it your all. I would rather fail and know comfortably that I gave it my all than fail because I didn't try enough. I would rather give it my all and fail with the chance of succeeding than fail and not try enough and I failed because I didn't try enough. Like, that haunts me for my whole life. There's a story I'll remember for the rest of my life. I always wanted to go to the Air Force. I always wanted to do cadets. I went for one day. I was so embarrassed. I was so scared because I went for one day mid I guess season, and I looked like an idiot, and then I flunked out. Literally the next day I went over there and quit. That was the most embarrassing moment in my life. It was horrible. I remember it every day. But because of that event, I now promise myself I'm never going to join something and quit. I'm always going to give it my 110%. I don't care how behind I am. I don't care how much of a fool I make myself look. I don't care what my family tells me, what my friends tell me. I'm giving it 110%. I'm never going to fail anyone or anything, especially anyone, especially someone I really care about. I'm never, ever going to fail or give up on anything. No matter how long it takes or how far apart I am, never giving up on anything. Now, so use your God-given passion and forgiveness and show that to others. So you got to learn to forgive others. To humble yourself and to be less prideful, you need to realize that you can be wrong, and so can others. So you need to then forgive yourself and forgive others. If you want to be more humble, you need to be quick to forgive and have God-loving. So that means the same way God loves you and forgives you, right? Jesus forgives us for our sins. You need to forgive others. Now, you don't have the same power as God, but you can still forgive and you can still love. So you got to love everybody, care for everybody with that 110%, and forgive them. Because if you want to be humble, you got to realize, having that communication and relationship and forgiveness is way more important than whatever act they could have done. And, it's okay to recognize importance, but choose to keep it to yourself. So more often than not, guys want to say things, right? But especially when you're talking to a woman, you need to humble yourself and keep it to yourself. Usually I'll talk to a girl and I'll want to interject something. I want to say something so bad because I feel as a man it'll make things better and I want to be validated. But the reality is girls don't care and they don't know who you are and they don't realize who you are as a man. So you need to just shut up, and for their sake, you need to humble and keep yourself quiet. As someone who loves to talk, I could say like 200 things for their one thing, but I need to shut up and say one thing for their one thing. So that's one thing I'm saying, and 199 things I'm keeping in myself, and I'm struggling, but I'm keeping it to myself because they're only giving me one thing, right? And you're like, oh, well, that's not 110%. Well, it is. I'm sacrificing 199 things I want to talk about so that way I can give them time to talk about what they want, and so I can be a better listener. Because it's about listening, not just talking as a man. So you need to humble yourself and shut yourself up. And that's frustrating because even a good woman will struggle to realize that. She can't read your mind. She's not going to sit there, give you a pat on the back and a kiss on the forehead because you decided to stop talking and didn't talk about all the things you wanted to talk about, right? And that hurts a lot. So you need, of course, taking your time will help with that because then there'll be more opportunities to talk about the things you want. But you need to shut up and humble yourself and listen more than you talk, right? That way you can also do the things like understand her better so that you can be a better partner in the future, right? Less prideful, a better leader, more humbling. And, hold on, I'm just reading my notes here. Okay, and then evolve to be better at loving others and not to receive compliments. Evolve to be better at loving, not receiving love, right? As a man, you got to be a bit closed off you got to be a bit closed off, which means a bit more silent to love you're given, right? Obviously appreciate and remind them and tell them how grateful you are for their love, but be a bit closed off more than you would like to then humble yourself so you can be more appreciative and more, graceful when you do get that time together, and then learn to love so much more. It's always about being able to listen and to be able to give to others, not necessarily receiving as a man. And that's a big sacrifice because all you want as a man is that you have this man, you want to be a leader, but every man has this little boy inside of him who just wants to be carried by this woman and loved and given kisses and told that, he's loved and he's perfect and listened and validated. But if you want to be a man, a real man, you need to shut up, humble yourself, be a bit cold-hearted in certain scenarios, right? Obviously, there'll be a moment to you where you can be soft and have that woman care for you. But if you want that, you need to be cold-hearted for a moment, and you need to learn to love more than you can be loved. Give it your 110%. right? And that's really uncomfortable, but that's what makes the sacrifice so great. How can you want a woman who's going to completely abandon her independence and submit to you 100% if you're not going to die for her in every regard, right? If you're not dying in your head and cutting off everything you want to say so you can listen better, or dying in your heart so you can love better, or dying in your mind so you can forget your pride and be more humble, how is she willing to submit to you? So you need to make that big sacrifice, and it is hard. It is so hard because you'll love her and you'll want to do things, but you need to remember, just shut up and be humble and take your time. And it's really difficult, and I know what I'm saying might not be really relatable, but there'll be a point in your life where you kind of realize in a certain scenario what I'm saying is fair, and you should acknowledge it as so. And I hope you're able to take this and appreciate it to some extent, where you can find a moment in your life where this would be valuable as a man. Now, this is different, and if you have a really good partner, she's going to see you're doing this and then double down in her femininity and be way more gentle with you, to care for you and support you. And that's why you need all this communication, which I'd love to address in another video, right? Like this relationship triangle pyramid concept where time and communication and action and love and all this other stuff. But anyways, so again, you gotta evolve to be better at loving and not be as open with receiving love, which is weird to say, right? Like, I'm not saying close yourself off. Like, obviously express your love to them, be incredibly thankful and communicate how thankful you are for their love, but always be more loving than you are being loved. And then, here, what do we got here? I guess I'm saying be faithful for all the good and the bad. So I guess if you want to be humble, I've talked about this in another video, there's going to be times in your life where it's good, times in your life where it's bad. You got to be faithful and grateful for all of it. So, oh yeah, I tried to commit suicide last month. Sucks. But that taught me to be the man I am today. Oh, I had this beautiful moment with this girl. That's nice. Brought me to where I am today. That girl dumped me, and now I'm here. So, moments suck. Moments are beautiful. And you gotta humble yourself and realize you are here today because of those moments, regardless of how nice and horrible they are. And you gotta reflect and take advantage of those moments to be a better person today. But that's all. I'd love to keep this series going. Thank you very much for all the support. My name is Nolan T. Painter. Thank you for watching.